Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you a shoutcast and a 3-game series between Fanta Fiction and ZhouXiXi. ZhouXiXi spawning as the blue Night Elf player on the top left-hand side of the map, meanwhile Fanta Fiction spawning as the red Undead. Now, some of you guys may have caught me early when I said 3-game series. I don't know if it's a best of 3 or if it is a best of 5. Or just 3 games that these guys just happen to play against each other. I really have no idea. I'm just casting you because this game looked the most interesting, or these games look the most interesting, without being under 10 minutes each, all of them. So we'll see what's going to be unfolding here as Fanta spawning as the red Undead, opening up with what appears to be a Death Knight opening. No Crypt Fiends. Meanwhile, over here on the other side, we are going to be opening up with an Ancient of War. It looks like we are going into either a Demon Hunter or Warden as the primary hero. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right there. It is going to be a Demon Hunter as the primary hero, and most likely archers to train up over here, or to train up to try and take down this 5-3-3 creep camp. Now, I apologize profusely already for something that has yet to happen. I'm drinking soda, trying to get some caffeine, so I actually have enough energy to cast. I try to avoid drinking caffeinated or carbonated beverages, but today is such a hot day in Southern California. Nothing like, I'm sure, the dry heat in Arizona, but hot for Southern California that I'm forced to drink soda, and if I get a little gassy, well, I apologize already. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going to be happening here as the ghouls and the Death Knight are going to be popping out here in just a moment. Already, Ancient of War absorbing damage as the creeping is underway. Alright, moment of silence as I get my drink on. Demon Hunter now clearing up this 5-3-3 creep camp rather easily. Death Knight is a little bit behind since he doesn't have a giant tree to help him take down creeps. Alright, gonna go ahead and open up with 4 ghouls. This is actually rather fast here. 4 ghouls, and he is gonna be perhaps a little bit low on lumber. I don't think he's gonna try and go for any sort of gargoyle play unless he pulls back some of these ghouls. Now, Fanta's strategy to actually open up with ghouls is and go ahead and creep is an interesting one. This is not something you normally see, as the Death Knight is rather low on mana already. Alright, there's a mana burn onto that Death Knight. The ghouls are making their way over, attempting to take down that Ogre Warrior. Ogre Warrior may end up getting a Death Coil. No, it is not. Death Knight already at level 2. As the Unholy Aura is ready to go. Those ghouls are going to be slightly faster, making that Demon Hunter a little bit more scared of a potential surround. That is always really important. If those gargoyles, if those ghouls are able to catch up to that Demon Hunter because it does not have boots of speed, then the Death Knight could perhaps either force a very early scroll of Town Portal, as we might see a mana burn. No mana burn, as the Demon Hunter is rather, or realizes that the Death Knight is rather low on mana. Gargoyle is already running across the field, and Fanta had did do a very good job. Oh, never mind. All of a sudden, ZhouXiXi wasn't paying attention. Gargoyle or ghouls and skeletons got the surround, and now the Death Knight was able to force a scroll of Town Portal burn. Coming back inside here, you can see some lower hit point ghouls were left behind. The Death Knight now making his way, perhaps trying to take down this 5-4-4 creep camp, should have a very easy time taking down these berserkers with their medium armor. Alright, Detonate coming in as the Demon Hunter tries to grab an extra few kills. They're not going to really be that successful, but the archers are now out on the field, and the archers are now running for their lives. Death Knight is significantly faster as it is moving their way through, but the formation of those archers is making it rather difficult to try and get an actual surround. A little bit of boxing play there. Very interesting, as the archers unable or able to just hide in the back here, and now we see him caught in a little bit of a tough area. Those ghouls do a lot of damage to archers, and those Moonwells are going to get depleted rather quickly. The Demon Hunter is sitting at level 2, does have boots of speed, but now you can see even the Wisp are taking a bit of damage as well. This is all going to be a little bit of bad news for ZhouXiXi, as ZhouXiXi may not have enough Moonwell juice to make it through the next day. You're not going to see that much damage dealt right now, but the recovery later is going to be that much more difficult. All right, Death Knight and those Demon Hunters now trying to do a little bit of exchange there. Death Knight wanted to get up to 75 mana, perhaps for another Death Coil onto one of his own friendly units. That's not going to be happening, as the Ghoul is now getting in the way. All right, a little bit of a Congo line happening back and forth here. The Gargoyle, or the Ghoul, trying to get away, unable to get away, as the Wisp now getting in front constantly. All right, I don't know why I'm having a hard time with Ghoul and Gargoyles right now. Ghouls and Gargoyles, completely different units. Keep on getting choked up just a bit, but no real problem there, as we are now teching the tier 2. Halls of the Dead is done, as a Wisp may get a little bit of a unwelcomed wake-up call, as the Ghouls are not going to be able to catch up to it, as the Wisp is the only worker unit that actually has full movement speed, or a normal movement speed. Back off over here, the Death Knight is leading the way with those Ghouls, making their way back inside, perhaps to try and take down some key buildings as they are being constructed, and this is looking like a little bit of a delay tactic once more. All right, ZhouXiXi's Ancient of Lore has taken a significant bit of damage, but we'll see the Knight of the Moon here, so to speak, as the archers are now trying to launch more shots once again. The Demon Hunter trying to get in front is going to be able to do so. Oh, and the Ghoul, able to slip away once more, as the Gargoyles are now finally out on the field. All right, Gargoyles are on the field, as you can see. What's going to be happening? Why aren't the Gargoyles perhaps going after some units there? And all it would take is just the Wisp to actually take one shot from the Death Knight, and it would have been taken down. The Gargoyles here may try and focus down some of these units, as the archers are now out. Archers do deal a lot of damage to Gargoyles, as you know, as the Death Knight still wandering back and forth, kind of forcing ZhouXiXi to play a little bit of a non-standard game. So far, everything that we've seen from this game, it really isn't a big surprise. It's just the tempo and the pacing. The game seems much more of a run-around game, where both players are literally running around the map and with their heroes trying to figure out what they can do. They haven't been able to do very much of anything, as you now see the Gargoyles going after the Red Drake. Red Drake does take a lot of damage from those Gargoyles, 61 to 70 melee damage, one of the reasons why they are so strong. Death Knight needs to figure out a way to stay alive, as it is now on the run from the Demon Hunter here. Death Knight now up to level 3. Slow cast on that Gargoyle. These Gargoyles need to get together and figure out where to travel to next. They need to perhaps just regroup just a bit more, as you see a lot of Gargoyles here. Some of them are currently a little bit low on hit points. Demon Hunter, 2 claws of attack plus 6. Gonna get a Tome of Agility plus 2. That is gonna be very high damage on that Demon Hunter now, as the Demon Hunter dealing upwards of 61 damage per attack. Agility heroes are generally known for high base attacks, and that's exactly what we're looking at here, as the Gargoyles now trying to make their way over. All right, Breath of Fire lands pretty much on nothing, and there is a level 3 creep camp, or that is at 3 hit points. Very easy to take down. And are we going to perhaps see a Dryad getting shot down? All right, one more shot should do it. One more volley, I should say. There it goes. But now the Dryads quickly turn things around. Panda could have got a Breath of Fire off. Is it going to get a Breath of Fire? And it looks like they are missing their targets, but no Breath of Fire as of yet. Not quite sure why. The Gargoyles taking so much damage here. There's that Breath of Fire, as the Death Knight still sitting at level 3. Death Knight unable to heal any more of the units, and the Demon Hunter is doing a very good job here, just focusing down the priority targets, spreading around that poison damage, and it really looks like ZhouXiXi is starting to take a bit of a lead. Gargoyles prancing their way out across the field. Death Knight now needs to head back, as we're looking at 44 over 50 supply compared to 30 over 50. A definite advantage for the Night Elf ZhouXiXi. Now, what exactly can Fanta do at this point? Fanta knows that he is behind. He does not have a second hero as of yet, and I think he's going to try to go solo Death Knight. Now, that means solo Death Knight, he is going to get to level 5 much faster, or he should get to level 5 much faster than his opponent. The problem though is that the Demon Hunter has gotten so many kills on the actual Undead army that the Demon Hunter is pretty much neck and neck with that Death Knight. If the Panda can get to level 3, that would put things in an even more strange position, as Fanta would then have 2 level 3 heroes against a single level 3 hero. Fanta would be forced to face 2 level 3 heroes, as ZhouXiXi with level 2 Breath of Fire and level 2 Mana Burn pretty much shuts down everything that Fanta has to offer. Wand of Illusion now being left behind, Panda now getting to level 3, and this is just one of those textbook cases where Undead is significantly behind in hero level 3 and level 1 against a level 3. Yes, the Death Knight is almost level 4, but getting to level 4 or the odd number levels generally much more important than the even numbered levels, because the Death Knight, even if it trains up another point in Unholy Aura, is not going to really be all that powerful. Yes, the units will be slightly faster, they'll regenerate more hit points, but nothing really to write home about at all. Undead clearing the right side of the map. Meanwhile, Night Elf clearing the left. Panda taking out the Red Drake and picking up a belt of giant strength. The Panda now with over 1,000 hit points, or close to it. 975 hit points, should have a very easy time in that next engagement. Panda with the extra 150 hit points from that belt of giant strength, plus an additional +6 attack, means that he's going to deal so much damage to the other units. The question is going to be, will Fanta have the right unit composition to deal with the Dryads and Archers, or just the Dryads that we come see from ZhouXiXi? Oh, Panda does a brilliant stone form to try and just mitigate a lot of damage that could have been dealt. And are all those, yes, those gargoyles are now making their way off to the north. You can see that there's a Tome of Intelligence left behind. That is not going to be taken down, as the gargoyles could try and clear out 1 or 2 more difficult creep camps with the help of the Death Knight. Death Knight absorbing a whole bunch of blows right now. That's actually a really bad spot to be in. Healthstone was picked up there, as the Lich now sitting at level 2. Alright, level 4, level 2 against level 3. This is a very close game at this stage, as the Panda and the Demon Hunter are looking for the right opportunity to strike. I think striking is going to be coming in momentarily, as we can take a look. Yes, Death Knight, Lich, now coming back down off over here. I would have thought that the top expansion was cleared out, but no, the Troll Berserkers were left behind, and the Death Knight sitting at level 4 alongside the Lich sitting at level 2 is going to be going up against a 3-3 creep camp, or 3-3 army. Demon Hunter very close to level 4, and as we see all of these units getting taken out, as we see all those players getting taken out, we now are moving into what I believe the main meat of this game. So far, we have Frostworm in play, very good heavy armor damage. Gargoyles making their way after the Illusion. The Illusion going to get taken out very easily, as we see a whole bunch of gargoyles in the air. The problem is going to be that Breath of Fire plus the Dryad Focus Fire. 18 to 22 damage, a decent range, piercing damage, and decent hit points makes for a very interesting point. The problem will also be that the gargoyles deal bonus damage to these Dryads as well. It's going to be a question of who can deal more damage to who, as the gargoyles now looking to run all the way back. Lich still sitting at level 2 with an Orb of Corruption. That additional -5 armor may be the difference in victory and defeat, as the Druids of the Claw with Mastery training are making their way out across the field. We can see a handful of Dryads now prancing through. They're going to come down here, perhaps try and flank out this Obsidian Statue, and this Obsidian Statue has to be extremely careful. Obsidian Statue is off over there, now going to be pulling back. Death Knight regenerating plenty of hit points with the help of an Obsidian statue. As we're looking at the Night Elf doing a great job, and it looks like the Night Elf may get to level, yes, does get to level 4 there. Does he tech level 2 evasion? I would believe so. Yes, you can try to go for other hero abilities, but pretty much evasion is going to be evasion is going to be the skill of choice after mana burn, and all of this is just so important now. All right, let's take a look at this. Demon Hunter now running off to the north. Is he going to perhaps catch his opponent creeping? And if he does that, he could get the win. Oh, the Dryads now trying to run back here. There is that Demon Hunter with that Orb of Venom. Orb of Venom deals so much damage over time. You can see it quickly deteriorating the health of this Gargoyle, as the Gargoyle now tries to hide perhaps all the way back home. Meanwhile, the Gargoyles are still scouting out the right position. ZhouXiXi is sitting on low upkeep. Meanwhile, his opponent is sitting on low upkeep as well. Both of them sitting on low upkeep. The difference is that the Undead is pretty much out of gold right now, while his opponent is sitting on a fair amount of gold still at this point. 1,000 gold difference between both of these players, as we are now looking at where exactly this one Gargoyle has landed. Landing right beside a tree to regenerate those hit points. He is looking good. He is looking refreshed. 3 Frostworms are now out on the field. Interesting course, as ZhouXiXi still massing up a good amount of units. The Dryads are only upgraded 1-0 at this point though, so I'm curious as to how ZhouXiXi wants to use them. These Dryads are now making their way down, pushing back to the center here. Let's take a look. What is this? Gargoyles, Frostworms, Destroyer now pushing through. This next fight will pretty much be the game changer. We see a Meat Wagon, 2 Meat Wagons in this, and that changes everything completely. Meat Wagon with their heavy range in this very tight spot. This is beautiful positioning, as the Meat Wagons could in fact just take down this Ancient of War and continue the pressure. If the Dryads try to get closer, the Meat Wagons have a secondary target to try and go after. I could have sworn I saw 2 Meat Wagons earlier. Now I only see 1. Yeah, there's only 1 Meat Wagon over there. I could have sworn I saw 2, unless one of them was an Obsidian statue and my eyes were just playing tricks on me, as we're looking at perhaps another Obsidian statue coming into play. All right, 79/80. Demon Hunter may try to engage here, and there is still plenty of places to deal damage, as the Meat Wagons taking a little bit of a picking, or a little bit of a beating right there, as we now see that the Panda is also going to come in with a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire. All the units still engaging here. Is the Meat Wagon going after the Dryads? That is the important question. I don't see that as of yet. There goes the Demon Hunter though, as so far Fanta has been playing the much stronger catch-up game and has now finally taken down that Demon Hunter. All right, so far all of those Frostworms are still in a bit of trouble getting focused down by Dryads, but that 1 Meat Wagon off over here is really putting it to all of those Dryads, as the Gargoyles are there to try and finish everything else off. A good 1-2 punch, trying to deal 1 blow and then following up with another, as we see Gargoyle after Gargoyle has fallen. Dryads, however, forced to run away, as the Gargoyle is now going to finish off this Tree of Life. And with this, the Lich now at level 4 and the Death Knight at level 5 have once again taken the lead. The Gargoyle strategy with Meat Wagons to reinforce seems to be enough right now, as the Dryads are now running back and forth between their army and then attempting to stop this Frostworm push. All right, Meat Wagons are all in position. Let's take a look at this. It doesn't look like we have the Cold Breath onto the Tree of Life to stop it from producing any additional units. There is a Panda with the anti-magic potion. There is the Stone Form, and then back up into the air at a moment's notice, as the Dryads are falling pretty much one at a time. Death Knight in a little bit of trouble, may be forced to use perhaps a Scroll of Healing again, as all the units are now backing off once more. All right, let's take a look. Death Knight sitting at level 5, not yet quite at level 6. You can see that the base over here, the 9 o'clock expansion location of ZhouXiXi, is getting challenged. And with it getting challenged, it does go down. Coming back around, ZhouXiXi sitting at 41 over 70. Meanwhile, 69 over 80 for Fanta. Fanta is sitting comfortably at this point, even on bases ahead on hero level and ahead on army. That's pretty much 2 out of the 3 things that you need to keep track of in order to just win the game, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad. All right, Frostworms, Death Knight, Lich now regrouping together down over here. 78 over 80 supply. Undead, ZhouXiXi looking to finish off this Forest Troll Berserker Creep camp will have no problem whatsoever, as a Tome of Intelligence was left behind. Plenty of mana now for that Pandaren Brewmaster. Demon Hunter still running around here on the far side of the map. Dryads regrouping. You can see, however, there is a large group of gargoyles waiting to pounce on anything that it can find inside ZhouXiXi's base. ZhouXiXi now uprooting his Ancient of War, so we are finally down to pretty much 0 bases for either player. All right, let's take a look. Yes, the Haunted Gold Mine is now being forced to be unmined, as well as you can see the Black Citadel. Black Citadel here, still protecting the entire undead army. Night Elf looking to perhaps do a little bit of a push, a late game strong push, but I don't think that Fanta is going to allow him to do that absolutely whatsoever, as the Death Knight, seen at level 5, now ready to charge on in and finish things up. All right, unsummoning a couple of key buildings. Don't need 2 ghouls at this point. Perhaps bring a number of acolytes to try and repair these meat wagons and obsidian statues, as that would really help out those fights, since they are such high priority targets with low hit points. All right. Frostworms, Destroyer, obsidian statues, meat wagons, all coming together. Back over here at the 9 o'clock position, still no expansion. We could see a bit of disease cloud being used here at any moment, as we also see the Tree of Eternity absolutely gonna get pelted. All right, Tree of Eternity getting just shot down, trying to walk and root back into a new base. The Dryads show up only to see an army of Frostworms in the air, and then the Frostworms decide to hightail and run it. This is not a good space to be. You can see so much damage being dealt on both sides as unit after unit is falling. All right, Destroyer, I believe, does go down. No, that Destroyer does not go down, but there is the GG by ZhouXiXi. Fanta taking game 1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.